Christ is risen. We've come now to the fourth Sunday after Pascha, after Easter, and this Sunday is known as the Sunday of the Paralytic because of the gospel that's read. It's from the Gospel of John, chapter 5, and it tells the story of Jesus coming to a pool, known as a sheep's pool, a very large pool, and there are lots of space around the pool, and there were lots and lots of sick people around the pool because it was believed that this pool, called the sheep's pool, or Bethesda, the sheep's pool had a lot of sick people because they believed that periodically, from time to time, the water would get stirred up. It would start bubbling up. And they believed that an angel was stepping into the water, and that if you were the one to get in there first, when that water started bubbling, you would be healed of your disease. Now, one of the men that was there had been there for 38 years. He was paralyzed. He couldn't walk. He had a bed right there, 38 years. And Jesus came to him and said, "Do you want to be healed?" And the man said, "Well, I have nobody to put me into the water when the water is stirred." And right then and there, Jesus said, "Pick up your bed and walk." And the man was healed of his paralysis, his being paralyzed and being unable to walk. Now, it's also true that when we have this Sunday of the paralytic, the reading from the Acts of the Apostles, Acts chapter 9, also includes a healing story. It's a story of Peter the Apostle healing a man named Aeneas. Now, Aeneas had been paralyzed for 8 years. And just like the story in the Gospel of John, Peter says, "Jesus Christ heals you." And Aeneas also was healed of his paralysis and was able to walk again, pick up his bed and walk. So we have two healing stories on this Sunday of the paralytic. And that's very appropriate for these days when we all know just how much sickness there is in the world. There are lots and lots of sick people. Of course, lots and lots of people with the coronavirus, but lots of other people always are in hospitals and nursing homes, and people who are sick, people who are at home who are ill. And all of those people would like to be healed. And I'm sure that everyone who was there by the sheep's pool also wanted to be healed. And on that particular occasion, it was just this one paralytic who was healed of his physical illness. Just like when Peter came by Aeneas, it was only Aeneas who was healed of his physical illness. So how do we understand these stories about healings, where one person out of 1,000 maybe is healed of their physical illness? Well, we understand it like this, that everybody has something inside them that could be healed. It's not just physical healing. Sometimes, in fact, with everybody, there are things inside us that need to be healed. Sometimes we're too angry. Sometimes we're too impatient. Sometimes we're too unforgiving of others. Sometimes we don't listen enough to others. So those are the kinds of things that go on inside our hearts that are sometimes a lot more difficult than the things going on outside in our own bodies. And so what the church says is that we can be healed right away of the things going on inside us. We don't need to have a miracle. We don't have to have someone to put us into a pool of water. We don't need to wait for the stirring of the water or for an angel. We can simply say, "Yes, I want to be healed. I want to be a more loving person, a kinder person, a more thoughtful person, a person who pays attention to the needs of others, a person who's willing to ask forgiveness and to forgive others." All those kinds of inside things can be healed, and we can simply do that by saying, "Yes, Jesus, I would like to be healed." Well, we pray for all those who are sick. We pray for their physical healing. We pray that the doctors and nurses and everyone who cares for them will be able to help them to achieve physical healing. But we also pray that everybody, including ourselves, even if we're perfectly physically healthy, that we would be healed of those things inside us that need to be healed. And through the prayers of all the saints, we can ask Jesus to heal those things. Christ is risen.